Hello gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Rooting Mindfully. My name is Iana.
And my name is Stacia.
And today we are doing part 2 of our Q&A, so let's get started.
Okay.
Alright, so the first question is asking us, as a beginner plant parent, for a low light option and cat friendly, should she have a cast iron plant, a peperomia, or a spider plant?
They're all cat friendly plants. I would recommend the cast iron and the spider plant.
I would also recommend the cast iron and the spider plant. The cast iron is a wonderful option for low light, and I believe you just have to really work on watering because I don't believe that one requires a lot of water. The next question we got is, what is your favorite part of having plants?
I think, again, my favorite part of having plants is nurturing them and to watch the plants grow. There's something so beautiful in nature to see the plants develop and grow and blossom or bloom, or to watch a leaf unfurl. And I do think that raising or caring for plants is also, it's good therapy. Plant therapy is real. It's a real thing, and I think it is very helpful to bring us inner peace, at least for me. What about you?
I like the artsy side of plants, so I'm just really interested in the leaf structure and the colors of plants, you know, the fur on petioles, no fur. Maybe you have a petiole that looks like pop rocks. If you ever seen the philodendron, there's a lot of different plants that have different kind of petioles, whether it's fur or different texture. There's the different colors of backing on plants, so I just like the creative aspect of plants, and I'm more interested in, you know, like the artsy side, so that's what I like. And another question we got is, what plant would you never get and why?
I would say it would have to be after I've at least tried a plant, so I probably would never have a puntia again.
And a plant I would never get, I feel like you have to try a plant to know that you would never try it sometimes.
I agree.
So it would either be a Fittonia, a Calathea, or something along those lines. Just like really dramatic plants I would never get again. And the last question we got from this subscriber is, do we practice meditation?
I do at times, not as often as I should. I hope to to practice more in the new year, but I do, and I do find it beneficial.
I tried to get her to practice meditation with me, and she was not interested. She was bored. I think at one point she fell asleep.
See, I was so relaxed. It worked so well.
I try to practice meditation every day. I use 2 different apps. I either use the Oak app or the Headspace, which is my favorite. I don't have the subscription, but I use that one, and I usually do about 10 minutes a day, and I find it to be very relaxing. It does get your mind in the right place for the day, so I find it very helpful. Oh, another question we got is, do we have a video on our thrip outbreak and how did we treat it?
Initially, I think I started with Dr. Bronner's or antibacterial soap, along with a little bit of alcohol, and just wiping the leaves down.
You use all that on thrips?
I did try that. It worked well. I mean, it worked. I didn't have a serious outbreak. I had it on 1 or 2 plants, but if it didn't get rid of it fully, then I moved into the Nature's Care, by Miracle Grow. I do like that one. That's an insecticidal soap.
And I do have a video on plant pests. I did talk about thrips because I did have an outbreak. I think it was after the summer, and I just went straight to the Miracle Care or the Nature's Care by Miracle Grow. Because really I'd used neem before, but neem really does not help with thrips like at all. So you really want to use an insecticidal soap, and that's what I used. And then as some of my plants had it worse than other ones, so those plants I used the Bonide plant systemic, and that worked pretty well. Another question we got is, where do you get your great looking planters? We use all terracotta pots, and we get them from, just like a Lowe's or Home Depot.
Or the hardware store. Because after the pandemic,
Yeah.
we did have a hard time finding terracotta pots. Initially, when we first started our plant journey, I did buy ceramic pots, but they were more costly than terracotta, and the plants don't tend to dry out as quickly with the ceramic pots, so I did move over to terracotta.
And the ceramic pots are heavier too.
That's very true.
So, and then she also asked, where can you find low cost planters? You can always go to like a big box store. You can go thrifting. You can go to Marshall's, TJ Maxx, stores like those to find cheaper pots. The next question is asking, do you and your mom live close together? Yes.
We live about 5 minutes away from each other.
Down the street.
Yes.
In an apartment complex, but yes, it's right across the intersection.
Yes. We could actually walk to one another's homes if we wanted.
No. And then the second part of that question was, do we go plant shopping, and how often do we go?
Probably before the pandemic, we would go plant shopping maybe 3 times a month.
We were going like every weekend.
Okay, 3 to 4 times a month.
We were making it quite often. And we would go to either like places like New York or some shops in Philly, and we would have coffee and then go plant shopping and have breakfast or lunch.
Yeah, we would make it all day.
But quite often we were going.
Or sometimes we might meet at the big box stores. But the big box stores in our areas, they tend to have the same plants.
Yeah.
Unlike some of the big box stores we see on other YouTubers' videos.
Yeah, like where do you other people live? Because I watch your nursery tours or your big box store tours, and ours are never.
We have none of those plants
beautifully stocked as yours. You guys find some really good, plants in those stores.
Yes.
But we don't have that much luck. Another question we got is, how do you deal with plant burnout, especially when it comes to your mental and physical health?
Well, I haven't really experienced plant burnout. At times I may not feel like watering as consistently as I should, maybe for a week or so, but I just go ahead and water my plants every 7. Sometimes I can stretch it out to 10 days, but I haven't experienced any plant burnout yet. If you do experience plant burnout for more than a week or so, where you really don't feel like caring for your plants, or maybe you feel overwhelmed, then you may need to be mindful of your collection. Maybe you need to downsize.
I would say if you're having other issues outside of your plant collection, to deal with those issues first. So if you're having mental or health issues, then you should deal with those first. Like, your plants come second. You're the most important thing. So you should take care of those first. Your plants will be fine if you put them on the back burner. Most plants can be resuscitated. So I would say, 1, take care of yourself. 2, when you come back, just maybe you need to look at your plant collection and see which plants bring you joy and don't stress you out. So that way, when you come back refreshed, you can weed out the plants that just cause you to be overwhelmed or stressed. And then make sure you don't buy any more plants for a while. That way you can get a hang of your new number once you declutter, and just take care of it from there. So just work it in different steps, so that way you can make it more manageable for yourself.
I think those are good suggestions. And also buying plants that you can take care of in your environment. That's also really important.
Another question we got is, how do we get a shine on our plants?
We just wipe the leaves off.
Yeah.
Mostly. Sometimes I will add a little soap to the water, or sometimes if you have hard water stains, you can add a few drops of lemon juice. That works really well.
Yeah, and I usually don't even wipe my leaves off. I usually just spray them off when I'm watering the plant, and that just gets all any dust or dirt. But that's what I do. I just rinse them off when I'm watering, and it kills two birds with one stone.
You just have to be careful with some plants that like your philodendrons, you don't want to leave water sitting on the leaves. You don't want to. Some of them you don't want to cause any bacterial infections.
Yeah, some plants don't like having water left on them, like anthuriums. Don't leave water sitting on your anthuriums for too long. The Birkin, there's some in fir plants that have furry leaves. Don't leave water on theirs either. So you just have to be careful about leaving water on certain plants, as well as using leaf shine products, because you can clog the follicles. We got a question of how long will you have been collecting houseplants?
I've always had plants throughout the years, or while Yana and her brother were smaller throughout their childhood, but I don't think we had plants to this extent. We started growing this collection in 2018.
Yep, started in 2018. And the second part of the question was, am I only child? And my mom just spilled the beans. No, I'm not an only child. I have a younger brother. So I got a question about Chinese evergreens. What is their secret? Their secret is to not water them a lot. You just give them just a smidgen of water. Not even enough water to come out of the drainage hole. If you're getting yellow leaves on your aglaonemas, you're giving them too much water. That's the secret.
I just purchased my first aglaonema maybe 3 months ago around my birthday haul.
It's been that long?
Yes, it has. And ever since bringing that plant home,
she gave it too much water.
It has, the leaves have been turning yellow.
She lost like four leaves.
It's probably close to 6. I think I'm finally getting the watering down. I just give it a sprinkle.
Just a little bit of water.
But if it hadn't straightened up, it would have been out the door.
Another question we got was this channel originally the Potted Couple? And yes, it was. I got a question about my philodendron McDowell and how much light it gets outside. That would be really hard to say, but I think the light comes from the south outside. But it definitely gets a lot more light than it does inside, just because it naturally doesn't get as much light inside than when it goes outside. But I will probably do a video on this, I try to put it in the shade and then move it into the sun. But that plant can actually handle a lot of light in my experience. That's why the leaves are so big. Another question that we got was, what nurseries do we recommend visiting? I like Vault and Vine. That's a nice one, especially if you like the cafe vibe. It's like actually it's like a 3 kind of part store. It's a nursery, a gift shop,
and florist,
and florist / cafe. But I like it. Has a really nice vibe.
Yes, I like Vault and Vine as well. A nursery, another place that's close to us is Urban Jungle. That's really nice. We have a couple that we like in New York. The Seal, I think it's Dang Florist in New York. In Chinatown. There's several in Chinatown that we like to go to. We like the terrain.
Yeah, the terrain.
The terrain is really nice.
Yeah, so it depends on where you live, because most of the places that we go to are obviously on the East Coast. So most of them are like New York, Philly.
You went to
Logis. I went to Logis. Was there another one? I think that's it. But if I lived in Florida, I would go to a lot of the nurseries in Florida. There's like, I think Bros with Hoses down there. There's the Equigenera Florida site. It's like it depends on where you live.
And I've been to a couple in Maryland that were nice. I've been to a few in Atlanta that were really nice.
Atlanta Victorian.
Yes, that was really nice. And Floral and Fauna, I think it was, in Atlanta. I like that one as well.
We get tons of questions about our skincare routine. My skincare routine is it's really evolving right now, so I would have to come back to you on a later one. But I do like to double cleanse, so I use an oil cleanser, and then I use like a gel cleanser, and then I tone, and I really try to make sure I use like a good moisturizer, and then I do like to exfoliate as well. But we'll come back, because I'm currently switching out of my skincare routine.
So I also use a cleanser. I use a gel cleanser, I use a scrub, and a toner and a moisturizer. I think exfoliating your skin is especially important. So I do think that skincare is extremely important, especially if you're wearing makeup.
And I would also say that it's okay to give your skin a break. As you guys have probably noticed, a lot of my older videos I didn't have as much makeup on, and I was trying to give my skin a break because I had a lapse of judgment and I had some bad breakouts and blemishes that I wanted to take care of. So I took a break from makeup to work on my skincare rather than wearing makeup. So I think that's important too, to give your skin a break sometimes. Another question we got on our YouTube community tab is, would we prefer to buy our plants at a big box store, nurseries, or online?
I think I prefer nurseries. I really do prefer nurseries over big box stores, because if you have questions, sometimes I feel like the staff members,
they're not as knowledgeable at big box stores.
Yes, I think that the staff members are more knowledgeable a lot of times at nurseries.
Yeah, they do know more.
And I think that at nurseries they also have a better selection. At least in our area, our big box stores tend to have the same plants year after year.
Yeah. So mine is a little different. I really prefer to buy my plants in nurseries just because I want to be able to see the plant. I like walking around, the fresh air. All the experience is nice going to a nursery. However, I do find most of my plants online just because I'm looking for a specific plant. I'm not really going to a nursery and just wanting to buy just any old kind of plant. I'm usually looking for a specific plant. So that's why I usually buy my plants online. But I would prefer to go to a nursery. We got another question about our skin. What is your favorite lotions or moisturizers? I don't use lotion on. I really try not to use lotion actually. On my skin, especially on my body, I use oils. But on my face, I'm now using the e.l.f. Hello Hydration Cream. I really like that. But I try not to use a lot of lotions. I don't like lotion.
My favorite moisturizer, Sage. My favorite moisturizer is probably from Bobbi Brown for oily skin.
High maintenance. What plant challenges you but not the other?
It would probably be, for me, it would be the Aglaonema and the rubber plants. Like I said earlier, the Aglaonema, it took me a while to try to get the hang of that, to get my watering down. It was quite challenging after bringing that plant home. And as far as the rubber plants, Ayana's rubber trees look very beautiful. They're nice and full. They're always producing new leaves. And when I purchased a few rubber plants, I had the exact opposite. I had a lot of leaf drop. I had deformed leaves. So I think I'm doing a lot better now.
Them as much light.
Yeah, so they needed more light and a better watering. So now I water them once a week, and they're sitting in my south-facing window. So they're doing a lot better now.
And I don't really have a plant. Well, I could kind of say the rubber plant, but really the plants don't challenge me that she has. It's just my lighting is not as good as she has, because if you watch my channel, I have northeast and northwest windows, so I don't have as much lighting as she does without my grow lights. But if I had her lighting, then my plant collection would be. It's the lighting that's challenging. A question we got is, what is a plant that you just can't seem to keep alive?
For me, it would probably be a bonsai. I have tried that plant.
It's terrible.
I don't know, probably 10 or so times over the years. I just cannot grow a bonsai.
Hashtag let it go. If you just put it in the comments so that way she knows that she should just vote if she should let it go. Put it in the comments, hashtag.
Really? I love them. I love the look of them.
Do you guys have a 3-time rule where you just try a plant 3 times and then you just call it 10 times?
Over the years, I've probably tried it. It's probably been 10 times or so. I just love them. I don't know if I would try it again. I probably will. But right now, I have that money tree over there in the back, and that is my pseudo bonsai right now, and it's growing well. We both have the same one, and it's growing well since we picked it up.
10 times. So just drop it in the comments if you think you should let that go. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
The plant that, believe it or not, the plant that I can't seem to grow right, or maybe it's because I don't really like them, but I struggle with pothos, okay? So I bought the Cebu Blue pothos. I think I tried it 3 times, and I can't get that. The first time I had it, it grew so well, and it was huge. It was almost as big as my Adansonii, but then it just started yellowing, and then I don't know what it is about pothos, but me and pothos, we're not friends. We don't walk the same path.
I did try that Cebu Blue. Actually, I had 2. It was beautiful.
She didn't give it light, though. She left it in her bathtub. She didn't put the window up.
That's not
She didn't put the blind up at all.
That plant gave me such a hard time. It was so beautiful when I first bought it, but after that,
She didn't give it light.
It just went downhill.
I don't know why. I just can't grow pothos. And everyone said, oh, that's the most beginner-friendly plant, but I can't grow it. And I refuse to buy anymore.
I agree. And a different Bacchia.
Yeah, I don't grow different Bacchia either. Beginner-friendly, no. And the last question is, have we ever thought of doing a plant swap?
No, but I think that would be a nice idea. Maybe after the pandemic, I would be open to that. Sure.
I would do a plant swap if, we were close, or
like a meetup.
Yeah, I don't know about shipping plants in the mail. I'm not equipped on shipping plants through the mail. I just want to. I'm a researcher. I want to look that up before I start that process. But I would swap plants if there was a plant that I really wanted that someone had, and if it was a nice size. I don't want to swap plants and I'm only getting a wet stick or a node. Like, I want a nice size plant. I don't want somebody to rip me off because, like, what is a wet stick?
I didn't know what that was.
I was like, who was buying wet sticks? No. I want a nice substantial size plant, so only if it was a nice size and it was something that I would really want, I would swap. So that's all the questions we had this time. Thank you guys so much for commenting on our last Q&A. We really liked your answers and we were really appreciative of your response. But we just want to thank you guys so much for watching the channel, liking our videos, and subscribing. We want to encourage you to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you can see us next time. But we will see you in the next video.
Bye-bye. Bye.